Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing something very special, which is answering a Q&A that has been highly requested by you all. I'm doing a special kind of video where I'm answering your burning questions that you all submitted to my Instagram. So whether it's about my music, behind the scenes stories, or some other interesting questions that you all sent, I'm here to answer them all. I'm here to answer your burning questions. So grab a seat, relax, and let's get into it. Question number 1. What inspired you to write The Right Guy? I wrote The Right Guy when I was head over heels in love with somebody and everything felt heightened and I wanted to capture those emotions at its peak. And I wrote about the pure bliss and magic falling in love with someone who's essentially perfect for you. I was too shy to tell them, and they were also very shy themselves. And so I wanted to write a song that if they ever stumbled upon it, they would know how much I cared about them and how even if they're shy, I still am in love with them and I still like them because they are the right guy for me. That song is essentially for all the shy guys out there. What genre do you write your music in? I write dream romance pop, which for me is a combination of rock and pop. Why did you pick Pearce? And what was the process of finding the right guy for the music video? Even though a lot of you know me for making music, filmmaking is in my blood. And my process of writing music videos is when I write my songs, I always see the visuals for the music videos playing in front of me as I'm writing. And that's been going on for all of my songs at this point. But back to the question. My team knew a wonderful casting director. They believed in me, they heard my music, they read my vision, and she helped me reach out to Pearce and Pearce's team. Pearce was a natural casting choice from day one. Before I approached Pearce, there were a handful of actors that came to mind, but Pearce was always a natural casting choice. I think what drew us to him as an actor is that there's a lot of content online, and in all of it you can see that he's kind and honorable and intelligent, and more importantly, he just exuded the energy of the boy next door. It was almost as if he was acting a version of himself in the role. And then when we filmed and we met him in person, it was basically him in real life. It's the right guy. Like, he looked trustworthy. He looked like I could have something really valuable and I could give it to him and he would protect it and stash it for me. What's your favorite color? My favorite color is red. And I'm wearing green and everything around me is green, but I love red. And you can kind of tell that in the music videos. I got different questions about the Princess Bride, but I looped them into one question, which is, please explain the Princess Bride connection for the fandom. I just did a Q&A and I said that The Princess Bride is a masterpiece, which I still defend, by the way. It is a masterpiece because it's all of the fairy tales and stories wrapped into one cohesive story and movie. You have your princess, you have your knight, you have your villain, evil king, you have the friendly giant and the con artist person. You have your musketeer and your duels and revenge and love and betrayal and capture and all of these kind of tropes in romantic literature and movies and art. So many good lines to quote, I quote it. Thank you for submitting this question. And yes, The Princess Bride is a masterpiece. And don't you forget it. What's your favorite of the places you filmed? Were they all around the same location? So I think this is a question related to my second music video, The Right Guy. So to answer the question of were they all filmed in the same location, my answer is kind of. School scenes were all filmed in a school, obviously, and the bus scenes in the beginning were all filmed at that same school location. And then the house scenes were filmed in a house. And the bench scene and the night scenes were all filmed on the same university grounds. And when Pearce was running, that was filmed on a city block. And as for my favorite location, it varies. Today I'm gonna say it was the school. School was so beautiful and it just looked like the school I imagined. And so that's why for today I'm gonna say the school. And I also love the outfits that we wore there, which brings us to our next question. Favorite music video outfit so far? I really like my outfit in the school, which is the red off-shoulder top with the Mary Janes, because in the song I do have a lyric, you and your Vans, me and my Mary Janes. So I got to wear the Mary Janes for that scene. And that was probably my favorite out of all the outfits we had. Where did you want to live when you were a kid? I feel like I was not practical. Like I was not practical as a kid when it came to where I wanted to live. I wanted to live in the strawberry shortcake houses and giant Malibu Barbie dream house, and the rent, looking back, would have been insanely expensive. But looking back, I think it was pretty ambitious to want to live there. So that's what I'll say as a kid. When I got older, it was mostly thinking about cities like California. I grew up in the suburbs. I really love the complete opposite of that, which is busy city and city lights and city streets. So for me, definitely just any city really where it's busy and bustling everywhere. Who's your favorite celebrity? I don't really have favorite celebrities, but I do have people that I do think maybe deserve their cred. Essentially, all of the musicians that have left an impact and a trace and a musical footprint, if you kind of want to call it that. And so people that I think of and that come to mind are the Cranberries and Mazzy Star and Taylor Swift and the All-American Rejects, who are all musicians that I love and wrote music for themselves before they wrote it for others. They wrote things that mattered to them authentically. As a musician and a writer and someone who's also into cinema and film as well, I want to follow into their footsteps. Next question. Are you studying songwriting and music in college? So, no. I am not studying songwriting or music in university, actually. For me, songwriting is just something that I'm self-taught in. And I've been asked that question before by personal friends as well. And it's such a passion of mine that I understand why people in my life, and apparently now on the internet as well, are curious about that. I'm still a teenager and I don't want to make music homework. For me, music is self-expression, and it's a way for me to voice how I actually feel, and making it something rigid or structured just for my own personality, it just wouldn't work. Who knows, maybe in a year from now, I'll change my mind on that. You have a colorful profile. Where do you film? I'm always out, so when I get my camera, it's usually just spur of the moment. I like to go to different locations, like now. I always like to be in nature, like now. Probably places like this, which are green and lush. What's advice that you got that stuck with you? A piece of advice that I got that stuck with me was from a dear friend of mine, Josh Page. And so Josh is a visual artist from New York. I remember when Front Row was getting released and The Right Guy was getting released, I was nervous because The Right Guy sounds different than Front Row. And the advice he gave me was that it's okay that they sound different. It's okay to have multiple styles as you're starting. And that really stuck with me. I really want to be an artist. What's advice you have for other artists? My advice changes day to day based on my own journey, but I will share a recent piece of advice that I gave to a young artist. Have one fan. At the start of your journey, all you need is one fan. And what do I mean by one fan? One fan who supports you and keeps you confident, someone that you can talk to. Whether it's a teacher or a parent or a friend or a professional. Having one person to believe in you changes everything. To the lovely person that sent this question, I hope you find that one person, and I would love to join your fan club. Favorite Disney movie? I have a lot of favorite Disney movies. Disney Zombies 2, only because Pearce is in it. Just kidding. But it's a good movie. My favorite Disney movie is The Emperor's New Groove. In my household, we just quote Emperor's New Groove. Just quotes. Or Cinderella. Are you a dog or a cat person more? I am a bird person, which is different. I do love cats. I do love dogs. I do understand why people love them. Actually, where I'm filming right now, there are a lot of dogs that are coming by. Look, there's a dog right there in the background. I raised birds growing up. I think that birds in general are very much, they're just very entertaining personalities. They're opinionated. They're strong and they're feisty, but they're also very loving. And when they love someone, they just love with their whole heart. And they can see something that's like 10 times their size and just charge without thinking. And they're so cute and they just huddle together for warmth and they're just like little orbs of fluff. That's why I'm a bird person. But I do love cats and I do love dogs. What's writer's block like and how do you avoid it? I don't think you can avoid writer's block, but you can overcome it. What I like to do is I like to go on drives and I like to constantly be outside. Inspiration in its own way is kind of like a scavenger hunt. Finishing songs is much harder than initially writing songs. So going outside is the best thing a person can do to be in that inspirational mood. Also just hanging out with friends, constantly putting yourself out there, because it's only with experience that you'll learn kind of what to write. The moment will come to you, and if it doesn't come to you, always be in search of it. Are you going to make more music videos? Filmmaking for me is a very crucial element of my music. It's very important for me to express that in music videos. As for my answer, you'll have to see with time. But that time may be closer than you think, so keep a lookout. What's your favorite song that you've ever written? I've written songs that will never see the light of day, but I've also written songs that I do want to see the light of day. And I definitely have one in my mind. Even though I could share what my favorite song is, I will release music and then you all can tell me what you think my favorite is. Do you act and are you an actress? That question itself is genuinely a compliment. I'm not an actress, but I love acting, and I think that in my music videos, acting is a huge component. I'm currently only acting in my music videos. I never really tried to go out and audition before, but if you think I should, let me know. What do you enjoy when you're not making music? I have a lot that I enjoy. I love to draw, I love to sketch, I love photography, which is also another aspect of my music that I think is really important. I have 2 photographers that I've worked with. I hope in time that you will see more of their amazing collaborations with me because I love working with them. What's next for you? I really want my music to be absorbed in chapters, to be a well-rounded artist when it comes to not only music but film and photography and visual arts. And I surround myself with people who are as artistically driven. I don't just want my music to be something you listen to. I want it to be cinematic and visual and real, and more than all of that, I want it to be an experience. And that's something that I'm working towards. But between you and I, there's a lot more to come.
Sometimes I'd blush before you cast your perfect smile, and I'd say